eating rice.
Jerry's eating rice.
Tell me the whole bit here.
I can't because I don't understand it. So by asking that question, we turn, which is rarely a good idea, to Jesse Nelson. Jesse, what the hell's going on out here?
So Chris Canty had a great appearance with us yesterday on Radio Row in New Orleans, presented by GNC. Had great insight on Jordan Love.
We didn't have to say who presented it after.
Well,
we
was
did that all yesterday.
But
no, we did that.
Maybe
yesterday.
GNC wants to advertise with us next because we've
maybe,
over-delivered
and then we'd
for
be more
them.
than happy to do that.
We got a moment going viral thanks to them.
All right.
I think we owe GNC a lot right now, honestly.
Jesse's on his way to get some supplements right after the show.
So this morning, there was a moment during Chris Canty's appearance yesterday where he was offering some insight on Jordan Love and a reaction to the Josh Jacobs commentary saying the Packers need a real number one wide receiver. And while he was giving commentary, and they're in Radio Row, there's a lot happening. There's a lady who's behind them, like, taking pictures.
Yeah. Looked like with a wrist injury. Looked like she had a brace on her wrist.
And you can see in the middle of the sentence, Canty offers a little chuckle. Now, Lord knows we've been distracted a time or two when we've been on remotes or even when we're just in a studio with a TV on. And so I didn't think too much of it. Like, it's just, oh, okay, something's happening on Radio Row. He got a little laugh while he's offering some analysis. And I noticed it yesterday, didn't think too much of it.
Okay.
Then this morning on the ESPN radio national show, Unsportsmanlike, weekday morning starting at 5 a.m. on all ESPN radio affiliates nationwide and around the world, Chris Canty shared this story about his appearance on our show.
I was on Wilde and Tausch, ESPN Wisconsin, yesterday.
Definitely didn't say either of those names right.
Yeah, you actually got both names wrong. Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch.
Pat
apologize.
pointed it out. I was going to let it go.
I apologize. Thank you for correcting me, Pat. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for, man.
It feels like that's his job, right?
I'll see you on awful announcing.
Above all else. But Wilde and Tausch.
There you go.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Wilde and Tausch. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Right. So I was on with those guys yesterday, and Warren Moon literally comes up to me, and he moons me while I'm on with Wilde and Tausch.
I'm sorry, what?
Warren Moon came up to me, and he mooned me while I was on.
If there's a person to do
what has mooned you in the case of Warren Moon? Exactly.
I don't know.
No,
Do you not understand what being mooned is?
I don't know if this is a play on words or he actually mooned you.
No, he mooned me while I was doing a Zoom with Wilde and Tausch.
Hold on. Bare butt?
No. He had suit pants on, but I mean, he came over and he mooned me.
I mean, that's the best person to do that, though.
Which I don't know how to describe it. Rod Lorenzo witnessed the whole thing, our social and digital guy. It happened.
So he just came
Rob,
over and
come here.
bent over a little?
Yeah, he's trying to distract me while I'm doing the Zoom.
Okay, so when you say moon, I think like you actually show some skin.
No, he had
his
suit pants on, but I mean, literally, he puts his head between his legs and he's mooning me, trying to get my attention while I'm doing the Zoom with Wilde and Tausch.
Okay, so many thoughts.
There you go. That's what happened yesterday. Presented by GNC.
Live well. So, first of all, I'm thinking of the Seinfeld episode with the librarian detective named Bookman. That's like an ice cream man named Cone. Warren Moon mooning is unbelievable. Secondly, if we're going to say that in that 2004 playoff game at Lambeau Field that Randy Moss mooned the crowd without actually showing skin, then this counts as some variation of mooning. And finally, I love the overpronunciation now of Tausch, so he makes sure he gets it right.
Wilde and Tausch.
Unbelievable. Tausch has no reaction.
Well, no, I thought you were going to continue on, and what's your reaction to it? It's not a moon. So I don't know what you're looking around for. You're on a rampage there. If you're going to moon, you got to show skin. Like, it's not a moon. That's why the whole Joe Buck was all like distraught with Randy Moss mooning it. Mm-hmm. You got to moon. If you're going to moon, you got to see it. That's not mooning.
Have you mooned?
So I understand it's fun. I'm sure I've mooned at some point. I don't recall. Definitely not in the last 25 years I haven't. I think when you look at this, Warren Moon doing the mooning is fun. I like it. I now see, because I think Jesse put up on social the part where you could see Canty, because Canty's a pretty serious dude. And I think he likes to have fun, and I think Evan and Michelle and the whole show there has done a good job. But he breaks. And it's obviously when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback that comes up there and fake moons. I don't consider what he is explaining as mooning. That is the fake moon. Because I don't think you could consider it a moon if there's no skin shown. I just don't.
If you're watching on our video stream, this is our tweet uncovering the evidence featured on the national television broadcast of Unsportsmanlike this morning, where we found the moment in which Chris Canty moons. So sharing that with everyone on the video stream.
And is the woman with the brace on her right wrist taking a picture of Warren Moon with his head up?
She may be. We don't really know her role in these shenanigans. I think she was just an innocent bystander.
She might have been a plant. She maybe is a plant to kind of get things going, and she takes the picture. But do we agree, or you guys think this is a mooning?
So I feel like you're kind of being the party pooper here. Just a little bit.
I don't want to be. Listen, man, you guys called me out yesterday on my Badgers take. I am going to be authentic. I don't think this is a moon. Yes, it's fun and it's funny, but if I don't think it's a mooning, I can't say it's a mooning. I'm not trying to be a party pooper. I want you guys to run with it as far as you want. It is of my belief this is not a mooning. That's all.
Is it like a waxing crescent?
Gibbous. It's a gibbous.
Waning gibbous? Is that the thing? Yeah.
Okay.
Quasi-moon, Mike and Sheboygan points out on the text.
Is it a moon or not, guys? Like, is it a moon? Jason, if you right now get up on your chair and you don't drop trout, but you fake drop trout, is that a moon? It's not. It's a fake moon. Now, if you get up and show your bare butt on our video stream here, that is a full moon.
I don't foresee that happening. I've never done that. All right. So
never's a long time.
Well, I can tell you I've never done it, and I won't. Very confident in that.
If you've been pantsed by somebody, which I guarantee you have.
No, I haven't.
That has been mooned.
Matt,
if you are
West
pantsed,
Bend.
that is a mooning.
Matt in West Bend. Good thing it's Warren Moon and not Eric Dickerson. Now that's clever.
Now that is great. That's good.
Thank you, Matt, for saving the segment. It is not a true moon, but if we are going to, and many have, including Joe Buck, the aforementioned Joe Buck, if we are going to consider what Randy Moss did, whatever you want to call it, but it was called he mooned the fans. That was how people reacted. I am a stickler for accuracy, too. So if we did not, or the people at Radio Row did not see Warren Moon's actual butt cheeks, it is not technically
Mike Tyson.
Mooning.
By the way, Mike Tyson, when you walk away and nobody drops trow, is that a mooning when you see the keister?
Oh, on the big fight with Jake Paul.
I'll say that. That, to me, is more of a moon than what Randy Moss did at
I don't know. There's no intent. Does an intent factor in here?
It's a real conundrum. It is a real conundrum here. I think what the root of this is, what is an actual mooning? And I think if you get, I don't think it could be a mooning without skin. I just don't. And if that's me being a party pooper, shame on me, but that's how I feel. That's what I think.
There's no bending of or relaxing of the rules here because it's a guy named Moon doing it.
Exactly.
I feel like there's a little leeway there.
Piece.
It is a key piece. I want to give him more of a little bit more runway because his last name is Moon. And even if he just pulled a little bit and just, but with all of the stuff in the world today, I understand why nobody moons. I get it. It's not a moon. I'm voting no moon.
All right. Well, we will. I suppose we could put that on the poll. Did Warren Moon technically moon Chris Canty while he was on Wilde and Tausch? I do think in a public space he could have gotten himself. I don't think you want a Pro Football Hall of Famer being led away with his suit pants down partially in handcuffs for showing his butt at Radio Row. So
what if you just go down, and this is, I can't believe we're having this conversation.
I can't
what
believe
if you just
either.
go down to? What if you just go down to your draws? Because you're not getting arrested for that.
I'm very curious. Is this all a reaction to the Final Four thing yesterday? You are suddenly a very, very precise stickler for
now, when it
accuracy.
comes to mooning,
no
I've always had a
riffing
pretty
anymore.
strong. I've always had a
I'm
pretty strong.
concerned.
I've had a pretty strong take on mooning for a long time. I never thought that the Randy Moss thing was that disgusting. Like, I didn't think what
I
Joe
would agree
brought-
with that.
I thought, listen, man, they scored a touchdown. He didn't actually drop trow. It is what it is. I mean, he claims our fans mooned him. I don't know if they did. If they did, to the victor go the spoils. I never thought that was a big deal. I just think mooning is mooning, and this isn't mooning. Again, I don't want to poop on the party, but I don't think that, so I can't say that.
It's a lot of butt talk here.
The fans on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, listens more, are now sharing people we are thankful it was not instead of Warren Moon. Brian Cox and Lynn Dickey both also getting some representation in addition to Eric Dickerson.
Look what Matt in West Bend has wrought. I believe if
You rascals on the text line.
If that's on the
boy.
text line, imagine what's in the YouTube comments.
I haven't looked yet. I'm scared.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
Tucker
all right.
Ashcraft.
No, don't even start with that.
Oh, that's a classic.
That almost got me an FCC violation with that.
I was listening live
He's
to
probably,
that game, by the way.
he actually is probably more Warren Mooney than Warren Moon himself.
You can chime in on the Carbless talk and text line on your opinion on this. If I believe, and I'm going to go to newspapers.com and look up my coverage from the State Journal after that loss to the Vikings in the playoffs, because I believe I used the same phrase that our friend Rob Vogel, the unofficial ombudsman of Wilde and Tausch, maybe pantomime of a mooning. I believe that's what I
Okay.
called what Randy Moss did on that
That's
day.
more accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again,
So it's not a moon, even though we want it to be a moon because it's Warren Moon.
yeah, right.
Do you think Warren Moon's folks ever thought about, like, naming his middle name Crescent, or what's the other word that you guys kept using
Gibbous.
for the moon?
And waxing.
Gibbous. Waxing.
I feel like this creates an opening, and we should reach out to our friends at Unsportsmanlike who have quite the Rolodex. I feel like Wilde and Tosh should get Warren Moon on the show now, maybe next week. Great insight into quarterbacking. He give us his thoughts on Jordan Love, another guy with a name that's actually a noun. And we could discuss this mooning situation with him as well. So Jesse can reach out to the powers that be at Unsportsmanlike. You can keep sharing your favorite moons, non-moons, and people that you're glad it wasn't that was distracting Chris Canty at Radio Row
Los
yesterday.
Angeles Chargers kicker Cameron Dicker.
Yeah, you're encouraging this now, you realize.
The Olympics guy, Dick Trickle. Or was he the NASCAR guy? I forget.
Dick Trickle was a NASCAR driver.
There's also
not
an Olympic guy who's got a name like that, too. I forget what that was.
There's a figure skater, Dick Button.
I just had a private talking text line. I'm not going to put his name out there because this isn't, there's mooning.
Does he have a funny name?
Our buddy. No. I guess it depends on how you look at it. His buddy, and he's a friend of both of ours, Jason, mooned the Vikings bus from their tailgate that playoff day. And Moss said, so this is our buddy's buddy. He got up on the hood of his truck and took his pants down as the Minnesota Vikings buses drove by, and that was the inspiration for Randy Moss's pantomime of a moon that Joe Buck said was disgusting.
Yeah. Joe Buck overreacted. I think we can all agree on that. I don't know who the friend of a friend is of ours, but yes, I've heard this story, and this person, I'm going to say that they did this. I'm not going to say that they claim they did this. I believe them. They were the instigators.
I'll see if he has photos because he's if they're at the tailgate.
I don't know. Do I want? And again, I don't know what the rules are on Facebook, but if he has a photo of like his buddy in flagrante
if
with
it's
his
just
cheeks,
if it's just butt, no
and
face,
the bus
I bet
going
he's
by, great photo, but okay. Geriad in Canton, Ohio, who we could all stay with when we go to celebrate Sterling Sharpe going into the Hall of Fame. Man, imagine if Warren Moon was back in college these days. The NIL potential would be amazing. Yeah, he'd be doing okay for himself. I had an interesting conversation.
Who would be endorsing him? Like the moon?
Moon pies.
NASA.
See, there we go. Now we're coming up with all kinds of great opportunities.
Maybe Elon's group.
SpaceX.
SpaceX, yeah. GNC,
SpaceX.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Probably I'm sure.
Live well.
It'll be GNC as well, yeah. Let's keep giving them all kinds of love. Sure.
Well, let's give someone love that actually does support our show and does a wonderful job doing it. We're very appreciative. And the secret is just eating me up inside. You know how I am about secrets. But I'm fighting the good fight. I'm not spilling the beans on what we've got planned with Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I love doing sometimes. You look out. I love the crescent. Like, since we're talking moons all morning, moons over my hammy. I love looking out the big skylight window, Pella window, of course, and you get that crescent shape or the full moon. Nothing better than that. And now there's never been a better time to experience Pella in person. You can get all of your questions answered. Visit Pella at the Nari Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th through the 16th. What could you do more for your spouse than to go to the Nari Home Improvement Show and go get new windows? Nothing tells you I love you more than doing that. Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with Pella's 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show, and you will receive a complimentary Design Works consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions do apply.
In honor of this mooning debate and Warren Moon and Lynn Dickey and Eric Dickerson and such, Greg suggests we change the name today to Wilde and Tausch.
Not bad.
Which I think is pretty good. We will continue this conversation, or hopefully we won't. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Ben Brust here because you need to win the ultimate Valentine's Day prize courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. To register, go to welkesdatenight.com for your chance to win a bouquet of flowers courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. On top of that, spend a beautiful night in the city watching Milwaukee basketball take on Miami on February 23rd. Register to win a wonderful Valentine's Day prize courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. That's welkesdatenight.com. Register now through February 12th.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem anymore affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins is bringing back their famous 2-foot party subs. Whether it's for a big game, family gathering, or work celebration, Cousins 2-foot party sub is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. Order today through February 9th in store, online, or on their app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
It's the perfect Valentine's heart.
The kind a schoolboy would draw.
It's the most adorable pendant we've ever created.
Innocent, fun-loving, and sweeter than honey.
Cute, cute, cute.
It's cherry red ceramic that's been through the fire.
We've been making ceramic jewelry for thousands of years.
Seriously?
Google it.
But this ceramic heart has things they didn't know about thousands of years ago.
Like what?
Diamonds. 18 of them.
These created diamonds were made for the one who sparkles like the sun.
I can see her in my mind right now.
It's the perfect Valentine's gift.
And it's only $128 at Kessler's.
Monica, what else do we have?
We have 4 different ways to say I love you.
Each pendant is a different shape covered in diamonds.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
An oval.
A square with rounded corners.
A teardrop.
And a heart.
Your choice, just $148 at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So Matt in West Bend has had a pretty good run in recent months and frankly last couple of years. Matt Coonan is the OG on the things that make us laugh, usually via Twitter, our MVT. I guess now he'd be the MVXer. Can you imagine if my buddy the guy who mooned Randy Moss becomes the new, I was at the Ice Bowl. Yeah, there's thousands upon thousands of people who claim they're at the Ice Bowl. Now we can start claiming that you're the one who mooned Randy Moss. Again, Tausch is right. I want to make it clear. He was a little party poopery in my opinion, but he is right. Warren Moon did not show his butt cheeks. I can't believe we're having this conversation to Chris Canty while he was appearing on our program. That said, Chris Canty, quite the pro, to not allow that to distract him while on Wilde and Tausch while discussing the season that Jordan Love had, the things that Josh Jacobs said. It was quite the conversation that we had, and if you missed it, I highly recommend Josh and Lake Geneva. Dick Buttkiss would take the show off the air permanently. R.I.P. Dick. So, Tausch, I feel like we kind of need a little bit of a reset to get back focused onto what it is we do here. But let's be honest, if we're going to drop 80s random catchers, we can also drop names that might be inappropriate. Like great Olympic champion Dick Trickle.
Yeah, I don't know. Was NASCAR an Olympic sport?
No, I'll find it.
You sure you weren't thinking of Dick Button, the ice skater? But Dick Trickle, a Wisconsin native and a great stock car racer in the, I think, 70s, 80s, and 90s. All right. Tausch, I don't know if this has happened very often. I don't have a great conversational segue. I try to pride myself on that. So Sterling Sharpe gets into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, Mike Holmgren does not, and the class is just a 4-person class. And among the folks that did not make the cut, Eli Manning, who has been the subject of almost as much conversation on this show as Warren Moon and Eric Dickerson in terms of his deservingness of being a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and he didn't get in. We'll get to Sterling Sharpe. I want to vent about Mike Holmgren, but did this surprise you? Because I think we, correct me if I'm wrong, we're on the same page with him, which was, I don't really think he deserves it, but he's going to get in anyway. And it turns out, at least on the first ballot, he did not get in.
I think he definitely, I don't know if I agree that he definitely doesn't deserve it. I think he, with 2 Super Bowl wins and the teams that he beat, was he one of, I always look at it this way. People will say, well, can you write the history of football without him? That's a dumb way to look at it because you can't, there's most guys, there's always stories to tell. So I think that anyone that tells you that, just say, that's idiotic. Were you one of the best players, top 3 at your spot for a 6-year period of time? It used to be 10. I think you have to go down to 6. If you're elite for that long, you deserve, I think, very high consideration to be in and then get it. Eli Manning, I don't think there would be one time that somebody would say he was a top 3 quarterback. Maybe there was one season, maybe 2008, where they had a really good regular season and then kind of floundered out.
Okay.
But there was never a time that I think during his era you'd say, man, he was a top 3 quarterback in his conference, let alone in the whole league. So I understand why people don't. What I think the NFL needs to do, Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, because he's got 2 rings in the way that they won them. The playoffs is where you make your legacy. Yeah. His legacy is set because of that. His regular season legacy is not, I mean, he had a nice career. He was not a Hall of Famer regular season. He is a Hall of Famer because of his postseason, which, by the way, is what matters when everything is said and done. That's how you're judged at that position. So that's why I don't have any problem with him. But what I think the NFL could do is make wings, not chicken wings, but wings of the Hall of Fame where it is first ballot GOAT types and then the rest. And is that fair? I think it is.
Like a
there
hall
are certain
within a
players,
hall.
it's you can call it whatever you want, yes, but it would be the no
butterfat
doubter
wing.
first balloters. And there are some that you would think are for Tom Brady, bam.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Deion Sanders, bam. Jerry Rice, bam. And it will be a very small club. If you want to make it a cigar room where it's only those guys can go in, you want to, because there is a difference. And I think when it comes to it, first ballot, does that matter? Nobody is sitting there saying, well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay, they'll say that, but bottom line is you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you're
wearing a gold jacket. Joe
Right.
Thomas, first ballot.
Uh-huh.
The NFL probably could separate and do that to make it maybe a little bit more, because I think the Deons and some of the all-time GOATs, especially that class they put in like 20 people,
Yeah,
I think that's
2020.
what irritated them. And there is a difference, but if your career is good enough, you'll get into the Hall of Fame, you should be honored with that.
Sterling Sharpe is in. He played 7 NFL seasons before his neck injury ended his career. We'll get into his credentials and his enshrinement. Plus, Jordan Love was down at Radio Row yesterday. He was answering questions. I'm eager to hear what Tausch thinks of how he handled the inevitable Josh Jacobs says you need a number 1 wide receiver question. How do you respond? We'll hear his response. That's all still ahead on Wilde and Tush. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Come see Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary Design Works consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X Golf's full bar and food menus. X Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA pro. Everyone is welcome at X Golf AmFam. Book your sim today. XGolfAmFamField.com. I'll see you out there.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Casey and Philly are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that That's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Hungry? Kwik Trip's got you. Food's here, and it's hot and ready. Check out our appetizers, like crispy tornadoes, packed with bold fillings that'll keep you coming back for more. And experience Kwik Trip Zesty Mini Tacos, bite-sized, big flavor, and totally irresistible. No dinner plans? Take home and bake a freshly made Cheese Mountain Pizza. So easy and delicious. Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Kwik Trip.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
All right, we're going to put a bow on this nonsense, and we're going to do it in spectacular fashion. Jesse, who was the Olympian that you were trying to think of earlier?
Yeah, I apologize to Dick Trickle. It was not him, obviously, and all NASCAR fans. I do apologize. The person I was thinking of was the longest currently serving member of the International Olympic Committee overseeing the Olympic broadcast service, and that's, of course, Canadian Dick Pound.
Yeah, that's a fun name. It's something else.
What a bunch of 12-year-olds we have on this program.
Tausch.
All right, so
Wilde and Tausch.
Indeed. So thank you, Jesse, for putting a bow on that with Dick Pound.
Yeah, check the tape, 2025.
Tausch, did the Tauscher boys on the farm while they were running post patterns around the silo and kicking the ball in between other farm machinery?
Wood piler. Yeah, we had a wood piler.
Did you ever pretend to be Sterling Sharpe during that era?
I'm sure we probably did. There was, I know Eddie Toolbox West got a lot of love in that time frame, but
didn't you kill him off on one show?
We did. Or I did. Yes, I mistakenly thought that Ed, God rest his soul, was not.
Glad he's still with us.
I think he's still doing great.
Yeah, doing great.
Kudos to Ed. One of the great nicknames, I think, of all. I don't even know why they called him Toolbox. I'm guessing because he was a good blocker and a receiver, but
he was like Tucker Kraft.
He always wore the quarterback mitten thing, and it would always get he'd be running and it would be swinging up, and he'd put his hands in the little mitten deal.
Sure, yeah, you got to protect.
So
those.
Old Eddie, I don't know. Sterling Sharpe is one of those guys. I think when you watched, it was such a one-man show, both with Magic and with Favre. He was just so good, and I think we as Packer fans back then were so desperate for anything good or for any of our players to be looked at in a great way. There just wasn't. There was such a it was just downtrodden. We were so mediocre to poor in everything that when we finally, I know Holmgren and Favre and Reggie White, obviously Ron Wolf, Bob Harlan, all those guys are huge in as far as why this organization turned around. No doubt about it. But I do believe the beginning, the consummation, if you will, of starting to turn this thing around was with Sterling Sharpe, because it got us back to having something excellent, something that was great, that we could kind of get our teeth into, was Sterling Sharpe. I just remember the all-time receiving receptions in a season. That was one of the things that was, whoa, we can actually do this. That's where we were as a fan base. I remember it. I don't even know how old I was. I was probably 10 or 11.
Right.
12, 13, somewhere young. I was a young kid. But that was one of the things. It's like, we're not very good. Bears are better than us, 49ers, all these other teams. But we didn't have anything, and Sterling Sharpe gave us that look of, at least we got Sterling. We have something that other teams are looking at and not saying, well, if you don't practice hard, you're going to go to Green Bay. Sterling Sharpe was kind of that starting block for the building of what eventually we now see is the renaissance of the Green Bay Packers. I think Sterling Sharpe was a huge part of that.
Did you ever find yourself wondering? I mean, look, it's an interesting story, right? Because he also famously decided to stage a holdout on the eve of the start of a season, which I don't imagine went over. Like you always say, that teammates want guys to get paid and they're supportive of their guys, but if you do that right before the first game that counts, I'm assuming that did not go over very well in that locker room when he did that.
No,
he did not speak to the local media throughout his career. So I don't know how many fans.
What was his rationale for not talking to the media?
He did not appreciate how he was depicted as a rookie, and so he decided he wasn't going to talk to. He predates my time covering the team. His seventh and final season was 1994. When he had those neck stingers at the end of the season, and it turned out he needed to have that fusion surgery. People also forget his departure was contentious because he was holding out hope he could still play. The Packers and the specialists they took him to said no. They wanted him to take a significant pay cut for 1995 to stay on the roster. He said, I'm not taking that big of a pay cut. So he was released in 1995 and never played again. Was hopeful he could get back on the field in 96. That never happened, and that was the end of his career. Do you look at him as one of those what-if players? Because I know Ron Wolf, I know Brett Favre, I know Mike Holmgren have all said, this guy, Andy Reid said it this week at the Super Bowl, that he could have been the best ever if he'd have stayed healthy and he hadn't had the neck injuries. Did you view him that way? And did you ever have any interactions yourself as a Packers Hall of Famer with him?
I don't view it that way. I think he had a great career, and I really think that Terrell Davis getting in is what got Sterling Sharpe in. I think Sterling Sharpe would have gotten in earlier, but there was always this stigma of he only played 7 years.
Right.
He only played 7 years. And I don't know how many years Gale Sayers played. That was the other comp, I think, to Sterling.
Yep.
But listen, man, the NFL's tough. We all know that. It's a cutthroat deal. Everybody would love to have a 15-year career and stay healthy and all. That's just not the reality. If you're fortunate to do it, kudos to you. But it is about maximizing the time that you have and giving your best. And I think Sterling Sharpe did that as well as anybody from a performance on the field standpoint. He knew he was a dog, and he went out and played like a dog. And whenever he was out there, now there's all kinds of other conversations you can get to, your media stuff, and I think if Brett was being honest about it, I think there's a nice component to having that guy, but there's also other stuff. You have to make sure you're getting him the ball. You're maybe not going through all your reads. You want to have that guy on your team. I think that's become abundantly clear listening to Josh Jacobs. You want that guy because it's not only he is the guy you can go to when the money's on the table, but what it does to opposing defenses. Sterling, people tried. I don't even know the other wideouts with Sterling. Phil Epps? Who is the white dude?
Jeff Query.
Jeff Query with the little goofy hairdo.
And the bad mustache.
That's who. So you imagine like Bill Parcells and Belichick coming in here and they're saying, all right, take away 84, and then let Query on the outside beat you. Like that was the kind of stuff that these guys had to deal with. Mm-hmm. So I just appreciate, I think, the greatness of Sterling. I don't think you can always get caught up in the what ifs and, this could have. Things could have happened earlier, and he could have never played. So you can look at it from different perspectives. I, for one, am not of the belief, this would have been this. It would have been fantastic. How that would have played with the G&G, do we have more Super Bowls or less if Sterling Sharpe stays healthy for that time period? I don't know, Jim. I think part of the reason this team was able to do it is because they had the resources to allocate, and the defense was great, and it was Chewy, and it was Keith Jackson, and it was Brooks, and Antonio, and Dorsey, and Edgar. Is that going to still be that same deal if you got a dominant cat like Sterling? I don't know. So that's why you can't get caught up in that, or you're going to make yourself delirious.
Sterling Sharpe only caught 55 balls his rookie year, which is what led to some of the critiques that led to him not talking to the local media. In 1989, he had 90 catches. The next wide receiver was Perry Kemp with 48 receptions. The following year after that, he was down to 67. Perry Kemp apparently had a pretty decent career. Jeff Query had 34 receptions in 1990. Everybody loved him. It was in 1992 when Brett Favre became the quarterback. Sterling Sharpe, 108 receptions. That was a then NFL record for most receptions in a season. The next receiver numbers: Jackie Harris, the old tight end, 55. Harry Sidney, the fullback, 49. Vince Workman, a running back, 47.
46.
47 receptions. 46 was the number, though. Nicely done.
Yep.
The next wide receiver, Sanjay Beach, with 17 receptions. So a little imbalanced in terms of target distribution. The following year, Sharpe broke the record that he'd set with 112 receptions. The next wide receiver, Mark Clayton, the Marx brothers of Miami Dolphins fame, if you're old enough to remember them. He was the next wide receiver on the list with 32 receptions. That was not the Friends cast. That was J.R. Ewing. Very much so.
Big time J.R. Ewing. No doubt.
All right, we need to, instead of, as much as Jesse wants to talk more about GNC, what we really need you to talk about is Kwik Trip, which is such a loyal partner and such a great place to swing by if you need something.
And I'm excited. Big road trip with Bartsky coming up, and I got a hunch we'll be stopping at Kwik Trip, and life is busy. Kwik Trip gets it. Whether you're craving that fresh coffee, ooh, I love that, or a tasty bakery treat, quick grab-and-go snack, Kwik Trip is your go-to. Variety, quality, fast service. It's what Kwik Trip is all about. Make your day easier and better. Clean restrooms to fresh groceries and everything in between. They got you covered. Free air for your tires. Make sure you got a storm coming up. Make sure your tires are right where they need to be. And Kwik Trip's appetizers, cheese curds, crispy tornadoes, those zesty mini tacos. They're everything totally irresistible. And don't forget to take home and bake freshly made Cheese Mountain pizzas, $9.99 for traditional, $6.99 for the thin crust. Plus, Quickery white bread is only 99 cents a loaf. You get free apples and oranges and pears, 3 for $1.49, and you can make dinner a breeze. Grab a little ground beef, 80% lean, and that's 16 ounces for $2.99. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Kwik Trip has to offer. Order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Kwik Trip. We'll see you
next time.
It looks like Jesse has implemented himself into the video stream with, it looks like a bunch of smoothies. Oh, there you go, a little nitro action.
Delicious.
Nicely done, Jesse.
Jesse, your smile in this, how would you critique that?
A little villainous. Kind of a sneer.
It is a sneer, or maybe just your hand is
Is that
cold
when you were
from
with the
holding
Badgers outsider and you'd wolfed down all those free samples?
That was on the way to a Brewers game one time. That was a long time ago.
I want to. I want to get Tausch's thoughts on Mike Holmgren not getting into the Hall. I have a very strong opinion on that, which I know doesn't happen very often. So I will get to that.
He did ask you to have stronger opinions after yesterday.
He did, and Mark
you're
the tape,
which I appreciate.
We'll do that next.
3 a week.
Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockeronthelake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg offices. One call, that's all.
Guys, let's talk about something important. That's you. Hey, it's Brad Norman. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa's here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step toward a more confident you.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why John Neal started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We understand how stressful this can be. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's 844-222-1192 or rightchoicetax.us.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
So Sterling Sharpe is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Mike Holmgren
I just watched Shannon Sharpe's. I don't know if he's doing a live pod with Sterling on it, and it was on Twitter. I could not recommend something more. I'm talking brother, like it is pretty blank and awesome. So that's just a little side note on that.
Well, knowing how close your relationship is with your brothers, that makes sense as well. So Mike Holmgren, they changed the rules in August for the Pro Football Hall of Fame electors. And basically, Mike Holmgren had to go up against Sterling Sharpe in that group of coaches, contributors, and seniors nominees. And he did not get the requisite 80% of the votes, so he did not get into the Hall of Fame. Now, the coaches that since they created these new categories that have gotten in are Don Coryell, who, having been a San Diego Chargers fan and watching their games in the 3 o'clock window throughout my childhood, Air Coryell, that was a big deal. Dick Vermeil won Super Bowls both with the Rams and the Eagles, right? So deserving. Tom Flores, Bill Cowher, and Jimmy Johnson. Also, Jerry Jones is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think this is a travesty that he did not get in. Mike Holmgren took 2 different teams to Super Bowls. He won 1. He took the Packers to 2 of them. I understand he'd have been a shoo-in had he won both of his Packers ones. Tony Dungy is in the Hall of Fame. He won 1. I don't understand why you change the rules in an effort to reduce the size of the classes when you are the same group of people who decided for the 100th anniversary of the league to put 20 people in one class. So now you have a 4-person class. That's fine. If you want to limit the modern day nominees, fine. But the seniors committee and this coach and contributor group, I don't think they should be in the same pool. And I think Mike Holmgren got hosed, and he's going to get hosed next year unless Bill Belichick is back coaching in the NFL, because he will be eligible. Because, again, shorter amount of time before you're eligible as a coach. He coached the Patriots in 2023, right?
Been out 2 years. Yep, this will be his second year out.
He will be eligible. And you only can put one coach in per class. So 76-year-old Mike Holmgren, if Bill Belichick is not in the NFL, he's going to get selected. Obviously, he'd be in that special section of the hall that you mentioned. Yep. They need. Look, do I like Mike Holmgren a lot? Yes. And I learn a lot of football from him? Yes. But I think based on his resume compared to the other coaches they've let in, he deserved to get in last night. And he didn't. Am I wrong to think that?
The bottom line is, I mean, listen, you make some good points. Him and, Leroy got in, deservedly so. But it took him forever, and it all stems from not beating the Denver Broncos in a game you said, I can't see how this team does.
I don't see any way the Packers lose this game. That tells you how vital, and that's why Eli Manning will get in. That's the postseason. And is it fair? Mike Holmgren had a great career. Mike Holmgren wants to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, no question. And I do think he will get in the Hall of Fame. The unfortunate part is you have rules and all this other stuff, and it's not – all of this stuff is subjective. You have different people – I think that they should move. I don't think you should have the same voters for 50 years. I think it should be a 5-year term, just like what I think is going to end up happening in college football. And then it's deuces. Let's get some new blood, some new bodies in here,
and go about their business. So I'm not as outraged as you are. I don't know Mike Holmgren as well, but Mike Holmgren definitely has the resume to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, and he will get in. And unfortunately, it's going to take longer than he wants. And what you want to have, what you don't like, is when you see these, and you have to have families celebrate after people are gone. That's the part that sucks. Luckily, Jerry Kramer was able to have his family, and he was able to make it through because he earned it and he deserved it, and he has, I think, enjoyed that as much as anybody. And you just hope that that's the case, and that's what you're always leery of when this thing keeps dragging itself out.
I am disappointed for Mike. I do think that his resume, regardless of what I think of him personally, did merit getting in. And the fact that Deion Sanders, who I do not particularly enjoy, complained about how they were lowering the bar for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And look, again, I don't think he made an inaccurate point. But that should be based on the modern era in their window of being voted in. The people like Antonio Gates, who got in yesterday, right? Those guys, if you want to try and raise the bar for that group, fine. But the idea that now the seniors committee, which is the whole idea is to right the wrongs, like Jerry Kramer not getting in. For a very long time. Like Leroy Butler not getting in for a very long time. Like Sterling Sharpe waiting as long as he did. If you're going to pit those against the contributor and the coach categories, which you created, I just don't think that that's right. What is right is that I really fumbled that. American Family Insurance has something great going on with the Badgers.
They do, Badger fans. American Family Insurance wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game next season. You and a friend, pre-game, sideline, or courtside passes, tour of the facility. Tons of great merch to support your Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
I want to get to what Jordan Love had to say yesterday on ESPN's NFL Live, and I've got a couple people down at the Super Bowl who just texted me that he's making the rounds again this morning. So I wonder if Jordan Love will say anything about...
Jesse, make sure we know what he's promoting so that we make sure we get that into our coverage of whatever he says.
God, I hope he's there on behalf of Baskin-Robbins 31 flavors. That's all I care about.
Something tells me
A&W root beer?
If I had to guess, it would probably be a car dealership we don't want to talk about. It would be my guess.
Yeah, we can't do that. That's not allowed.
And we won't.
Given his performance at certain times of the year, that seems... Well.
Oh, is that right?
Well, kind of a clunker at the end of the year, let's be honest. We will get to what he said about Josh Jacobs' comments when he was on NFL Live yesterday on ESPN. Next, to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. We'll do that in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
It was a great deal for the Golden State Warriors in the sense that they get to add a star around Steph Curry and Draymond Green in the twilight of their careers, and it puts them closer to being a contender. Now, do I think they should be considered a favorite in the Western Conference to contend for a championship this year? No, but it does give them somebody else on the offensive end that can create for themselves and for others, right? They don't really have another guy that can generate shots outside of Steph Curry, and we're seeing that in how teams are playing the Golden State Warriors defensively, sending a lot of double teams, sending a lot of blitzes at Steph, and there are not a lot of guys that can create offense outside of that. Steph Curry, as crazy as it sounds, has more games where he scored 15 or less than he scored 30 or more.
Wow.
And so looking at what the Golden State Warriors have been on the offensive end, they needed somebody to give them a little extra punch.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with Jordan Love, who I'm, again, being told he's making the rounds at Radio Row again today. But he appeared on NFL Live, and as you might expect, the ESPN panel of that program, well, they had some questions about what Josh Jacobs had said about the Packers' need for a number one wide receiver. Before we play this, Tausch, you and I would agree this is a sticky wicket for the quarterback to be put into, right? Because he doesn't want to
no doubt
call out his running back for speaking the inconvenient truth. If he actually believes that they do need a true one, he can't say that. He also can't say that if he actually believes they need a true number one. No, we don't need that. Our guy, we got what we need. So while Jordan is not the most colorful quote that I have covered during my career, he was in a tough spot yesterday.
Yeah, how do you rank your quarterback covers? Strictly from your own, not that you did a radio show, but from a Quotable and wow, this guy's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely Rodgers over Favre in terms of starting quarterbacks. Matt
I didn't
Flynn.
say starting quarterbacks.
I know.
Top five, baby.
I know.
Right.
I'm going to need a little more time to cobble that list together because, Matt Flynn is very high. Scott Tolzien is very high. Doug Peterson is very high.
Hundley?
No, he was. That was difficult. That 17th season was.
Is Jordan making your top five?
From a quotability media standpoint?
Yep.
If he is top five, he's not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay,
but he might be 5.
The answer is no. But
no,
the answer is no, but you want to make sure. You're kind of in the same scenario as Jordan is down at the Super Bowl. You have to continue to talk and deal and have a relationship with Jordan, but you want to be honest. So you have just been put in the exact same scenario that Jordan is put in down in New Orleans, which I find fun.
It is fun. I'm going to put him 5th, so he's in the top 5. Let's see how Jordan handled the similar
If we went 6, would you put him 6th?
Is Kaiser in front of
top
him?
6, he's definitely 6.
Kaiser was not great either. No, that's true. No, I could tell you one
you didn't
guy.
Talk 9/11 conspiracy theories. That's probably why you didn't.
Seneca Wallace,
no. Kurt Benkert, no.
Vince Young. How about Vince Young?
He was only here for like 4 weeks. I didn't really get to know Vince very well.
Hasselbeck?
What was the quarterback's name from the Browns?
Yeah.
Top pick? No, the top pick with the Browns. Like Tim Couch.
Yeah, no.
Tim Couch.
We also had Eric Crouch here for a while. I don't know if that overlapped with your playing days, but
Craig Nall.
Craig
Heupel,
Nall?
Josh Heupel.
Craig Nall, we got to get him back on. We got to get that recipe for his Nall's balls or whatever it is that he's selling. Enjoyed his visit.
I'm sure glad Nall's balls wasn't at Louisiana yesterday. That would have been uncomfortable.
Oh, my God. All right.
Wilde and Tausch.
This is starting to turn into Ed Helms Sucks. Super Bowl is coming up. So let's hear from Jordan Love and what he had to say about Josh Jacobs' comments about the need for a number one wideout.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we have different guys that can play and do different things better than other guys. And I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing. And guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And, I'm always right for my guys. I love the guys we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
If you add good players to an already good offense, you can make it a better team. Not the sexiest quote I've ever heard, but it does sound honest to me. It is blasé.
This was, call this what it was. This is Word Salad USA is what that was.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't have any problem with it. This is one of those where he is just sitting there biding his time until he can promote what he's doing, and then he walks off the stage is like, oh, my God. Did I really need this $75K? That's where he's at with this process or whatever his appearance fee is. So, because you're putting him in a real tough pickle. Like you are. And this is part of being a big, in the big boy league. And,
right.
And I think I like how Jordan handled it. He's saying nothing. He's not putting himself out there. It's not, he's not on, when he was on with Micah Parsons' pod last year. I'm sure he has thoughts. But he's a good teammate, and I think he wants to, just like Josh Jacobs, he wants to win. And what he says to Goody and what he says to everybody else. But let's not kid ourselves. Josh Jacobs has the resume to say what he wants. Jordan Love does not. Not at this point. And Jordan Love has grown. These are his guys. He's come into the league with these guys, really from a starting standpoint. And he wants these guys to elevate their games. So to me, if I'm advising Jordan, I say, listen, man, I heard what Josh said, and we always want to have good players on our team. And if we can bring players in that are going to elevate our rooms, we should do it. But I want to make sure we as a group continue to improve, and it starts with me. I was not consistent enough this season. That's what I do if I'm him. And again, this is Media 101, and I know Sarah and the team over there, Tom Fanning, all those guys, they are going to always tell you, talk about yourself, and always go when you're talking about your teammates. It's a group thing. So I would have spun that and just said, listen, man, our receiving core, we all have to be better, but it starts with me. I just was not consistent enough this season. And you know what happens? The conversation swings to you, and you talk about yourself. It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode when old boy is getting the unlisted phone number. And he's sitting there saying, and they're like, well, aren't you worried she's going to say it? And then he starts saying, well, where did you get it? I went when I was getting a boat. And then next thing you know, Elaine's asking about the boat, and it's like, see? Conversation shifts. That's what Jordan Love should have done. Josh Jacobs do what he wants. Jordan Love is the quarterback. It's got to be a lot more delicate. And if I'm him today making my rounds, I'm going right to that, and I'm saying I'm working my keister off. We got a new quarterback coach. I was not consistent enough. There's a lot of reasons for it. I wasn't healthy, but I am going to work my keister off because I need to help make my receivers better, regardless of who's in that room.
I feel really good about myself right now because I heard this clip for the first time last night with Jim and Matt on Jim, Matt, and Molly, And I don't know if Woolie's listening, but if he can pull my answer, I sound like Tausch. That's exactly what I talked about. That's the advice I would have given Jordan, is I need to be more accurate. I can help those guys be better. Now I feel really good. I didn't feel really good before about, I don't want to criticize him because this answer was lame, but I do want to be considerate of the tough spot he's in. But that's the answer, and you and I agree on that. And you're right. It would have been much more dynamic. There would have been more. What's the word you like to use? Dynamicity to his answer. If he had talked about himself and accuracy and helping these guys. We might have to do a side by side, much like we did of your 2024 Final Four prediction and your 2025 Final Four prediction. But I couldn't agree with you more on that. All right. He did say some other things yesterday as well.
And by the way, I don't know about you, and I don't know if I want Devante over T. Higgins. And I know that sounds crazy, but this whole concept of bringing T. Higgins in and paying him $30-some-odd million, I don't want that.
I thought you wanted us to. I thought you wanted me to be more opinionated to make up for the opinion deficit that you're threatening after the Final Four thing. And B, I thought
I might just be drifting until next week. But you gave what are you mad about?
I'm not. I wasn't mad at all. What I'm saying was, one, you want me to be more opinionated, as I just said, and then two, the show's better when we disagree. I totally agree with you on that too. Like paying T. Higgins.
The show's better when we disagree?
No, I agree with you on T. Higgins. Try to keep up. The idea that you spend a fortune on him, I just don't. You're not. If you believe that you have guys that are capable of elevating, then you don't go get T. Higgins. You get Devante Adams to still give them the opportunity to keep growing up while he spends the next 2 years putting up some pretty good numbers in your offense and teaching them how to be number one wide receivers. You don't go out and pay a guy to be that guy for the next 5 years.
I think here's the deal. And I know Jordan didn't delve into it, but it's become pretty obvious to me that a lot of people on that offensive side of the football feel like they need a kickstart at that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's the gist of what I'm hearing. I wouldn't just doubt. I still believe that Jaden Reed can be – maybe he's not going to be a 1A, but I still think Jaden Reed has all the skills. I wish it was more consistent. I wish we saw more at the end of the year, and I keep wondering – you hear the coach say once again – I'm really wondering if there's something going on there or if it was people started really putting a lot of attention on him and clamping him down.
Target guy.
Even if you can win a lot of games if Jaden Reed is your 2. I don't know if you can as a 1, but Jaden Reed is going to be a really good player for this team. I think there's a lot of questions about everybody else. Jaden Reed you feel good about. I do think you need to supplement. You don't need to go keep it on GNC. You don't need to go get the highest priced bottle in that building. What you need is just go get some good multivitamins that are going to help the rest of your receiving core grow. Whatever that bottle is. Centrum. I think Devante Adams is that bottle.
I'm a little bit thrown that you now dropped the GNC.
It's over. I mean, I might as well just keep till the end of the week. We're promoting the heck out of it. I don't know why, but we are as a show. And I'm not going to be the outlier and say, no, we're not doing that anymore, because you already did it 7 times. So I might as well just jump on board, too.
All right. Speaking of opinions.
What would be that supplement that's not it's not creatine?
B12.
I don't know what it would. Just something that is going to be good. It's not overly expensive, but it's not dirt cheap. Somebody will have to help me with that.
I think it's B12.
I don't know what that answer is.
Isn't that what Costanza?
That's a B12 shot. No, it's more than that. I think it's something. It's got to be pills. Maybe GNC's not just pills. Maybe there's more to it. And somebody will have to get Canty back on with Warren Moon. We'll ask him.
All right. Here's what we're going to do. we talked about opinions. You sent me a very interesting tweet from someone with a very strong opinion on the wide receivers. I want to read that and see if we agree with him or not. Then we're going to talk to Rob Demovsky. We're going to play trivia in the 11 o'clock hour. And at some point during the show, we are doing a Super Bowl preview. And if you start talking about Ed Helms again, I'm going to punch you.
You can't say it's the big game preview. Brought to you by GNC.
I can say that as long as it's not. Well, now I can't.
No, but I just said big game. You can't say it.
Got.
As much as you're throwing GNC around, you better be careful mentioning that other word.
We'll get to this opinion next.
Trying to help you.
No, you're
trying to help you.
You're not, actually.
Yes.
No, you're
trying
not.
to.
More Wilde and Tush. Stick around.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Made by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey guys, Josh DiMaggio here. Don't be like me and wait till the last minute. Valentine's Day is almost here. Impress that special someone with a handcrafted bouquet from Flowers for Dreams. Order a bouquet online at flowersfordreams.com or visit their Walker's Point location. Use code ESPN at checkout for 15% off your bouquet, or this year, try something new with tickets to their date night open studio workshop on Friday, February 14th. Every Valentine's bouquet benefits an amazing local Milwaukee charity. That's flowersfordreams.com, code ESPN.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Don't miss a day of non-stop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th at Fiserv Forum. Catch all the exciting plays as 10 high school boys basketball teams hit the court. Watch 5 games featuring State Power Kettle Moraine along with Nicolet, Milwaukee Juneau, Kohler, Sun Prairie East, and Racine Park. General admission tickets are just $15 and are valid for all 5 games. See the full schedule and get your tickets today at FiservForum.com. Be there for the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Casey and Philly are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Listen up, gentlemen. You're fighting an unfair battle. Studies show testosterone levels in men have plummeted by 25% in just 2 decades. That's why you're struggling with energy, muscle, and drive. But here's a game changer. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments boost testosterone by 30% on average. Imagine reclaiming the vitality your grandfathers had. Picture turning heads, dominating your career, and feeling unstoppable again. Don't settle for today's normal. Seize the day at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The tweet is from Wisconsin Family.
Sounds wholesome.
Well, let's see if you hold that same view when I think this is a harsh but perhaps fair criticism. I'm starting to see why the Packers wide receivers didn't improve. It appears some of them think they have arrived. The joke is on them. Tausch, you sent this to me. You came across it in your feed. Who do you think Wisconsin Family, wholesome Twitter account that it may be, is referring to? And do you think he has a point?
I do. I just think there's, nothing in this league is given. And I think one of the things about going young and letting guys grow is you start assuming that this is just how it's going to be. And if you don't take that jump, even though you've played and you've done some good things, but you consistently haven't done what has been asked, that doesn't mean you're going to continue to get those same opportunities. And I think a lot of times guys do think that they're owed that. And I'm not going to name any names, but there are a lot of drops this season. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of guys that are young players that you want to continue to give them those opportunities, but at some point, urgency takes place, and urgency is more important than growth. I think we're there. And I think that's why you're hearing Josh Jacobs speak up. You hear Goody say it. You kind of hear LaFleur a little bit. These guys will still continue to get opportunities, but it's not unfettered and it's not residually forever. There comes a point where if you aren't running your routes the proper way, or you're dropping the football in too many spots, nothing is owed to you. And that's a hard lesson to learn, but trust me, it will be learned. If you don't elevate and do what you're supposed to do, because everything's cute as a rookie. Oh, he's exceeding expectations. He's a 6th-round pick. He's a 5th-round pick. Oh, he's had a nice season. We're going to elevate you, and now you're a number 2. Okay, well, all right, that's great, but you know what? I'm kind of irritated. I'm not getting more reps. I'm taking this week off. Not how this world works in this business. Oh, I need to get more action. I need to get more opportunities. Well, what did you do with those opportunities? And the league doesn't rest. You have a bunch of kids, young men, going down to Indianapolis, playing in Shrine Bowls and Senior Bowls, and they're all coming. And nothing is owed to you, and especially when there's no money and when they have to make decisions on who to pay and who to move on from. If you're not getting it done, you're going to get moved on from.
Right.
Period. Mm-hmm. And I just hope that all these young guys that are going thumbs down and are irritated with Josh Jacobs, which I get, feelings can be hurt.
Standards over feelings.
But you know what else hurts? When you go in for a new contract and they say, you're getting old. We got a young guy that we like better. Or, thank you for your service. I hope you and your family the best of luck, just not here.
Right.
You find that out real quick. So it's better find it out before it's too late, and you think that you have been crowned, or you get better and you force them to continue to play you and pay you. Because right now, is there anybody on that receiving corps that you're like, we got to pay and we got to keep? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. So that's why I thought that was an interesting tweet.
Yeah, and your opinion was even better. Some might say sound graph. I personally wouldn't. All right. Speaking of really good takes and really good opinions, sometimes not the most bold of opinions, our friend Rob Demovsky is scheduled to appear next. I want to remind you that Steinhafels is celebrating the opening of its Orland Park furniture and mattress showroom. I believe that's in Illinois, which is not far from where Rob grew up. With their biggest President's Day sale yet. Spend over $1,999 and you'll get dinner and a movie on Steinhafels, a $60 restaurant gift card, and a $40 movie gift card. You can get Juji fruits as well. Plus, you can take advantage of Steinhafels' 18-month 0% financing. Shop Steinhafels' President's Day sale in-store and online at steinhafels.com. But hurry, the sale ends Sunday.
You're not
Rob
going
Demovsky,
popcorn at the movie? You're going with the candy?
No, we did a lot of Seinfeld references, and Elaine's at a movie and finds out that her boyfriend's been like hit by a car or something, and she stops for Juji fruits. That's all. And no, popcorn for sure. A lot of that really tasty butter poured on top of it as well. Rob Demovsky joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by... Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Champs Americana in Brookfield, the Sandlots of Salem in Salem Lakes, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Magoo's on the Mound in Milwaukee, and Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill in Pewaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Time is running out to sign up for the trip of a lifetime with Homer. Join Homer and Colette Vacations this August to see the many shades of Ireland. It's the last chance to join Homer to explore the historic city of Dublin. Journey through Ireland's breathtaking countryside. Stay overnight at the medieval castle, and do so much more. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com or text Homer to 800-990-3776 for the full details of the trip. Spots remain, so don't miss out on this special trip with Homer and Colette.
Get ready for the grooviest celebration of the year. Join us at American Place Casino for our Woodstock and Wildflowers 2-year anniversary bash on Saturday, February 15th. We're giving away $50,000 in cash and free play with winners drawn every 15 minutes from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Participate in our costume drawing for a chance to win $500 in free play. Come celebrate our 2-year anniversary. Don't miss out on all the fun promotions and live entertainment. Peace, love, and big jackpots await. Visit AmericanPlace.com for more details.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Joining us now, America's basketball dad, who, by the way, I had a little something come up the other night. Paula's grandfather, the girl's great-grandfather, who's 93, sharp as a tack, had some health issues, so I went to visit him instead of going to this game between the Ashwaubenon Jaguars and the De Pere Redbirds. But I did get to watch the second half on YouTube, and I got to see Isaac Herlash, who I once held as a baby, dish the ball to Ron Demovsky for the game-winning bucket to beat the Ashwaubenon Jaguars. And I know both their dads. I love both their dads, and I bet both their dads are really, really proud this week. One of them joins us now, and it's not Will Herlash.
How's Ashwaubenon feeling?
It's Rob Demovsky. Hey, they designed... Rob, help me out here. They designed one hell of a 1.6-second play that got a Division I basketball player a pretty good look from half court, and I bet you're a little worried.
Except they needed 1.7 or 8 because it would not have counted.
Indeed. How you doing?
Wave it off.
Hell of a game, buddy.
Yeah, it was. If I had hair, I wouldn't have any now. So we had some missed free throws before. I don't know that I've been a part of a game or seen a game where it was I think it was like a 12 or 14 point lead with about 3 or 4 minutes to go, and we lost it all. So.
Yes, there were some missed free throws, but the hero comes through in the end with the big bucket to win the ball game.
Hey, Rob, before we get into Packers talk, help us out, because Jason and I, our kids are younger than yours. You went around, I'm guessing, hoops-wise, to all these tournaments and AAU stuff. What was your car ride policy with your kids after games?
Well, when they started to get their learner's permits, I was hoping they would do some of the driving, Tausch, and they didn't. None of it.
Not happening.
To Kansas City and back was all me. So that wasn't good. We typically had a good mix of conversation and, little of their own Netflix headphone time. I think it was a good mix. So I don't know. There was I don't think we had a policy, but I think we just had a good mix of, we also like to eat pretty well. Like we were not rolling through the Taco Bell in Dubuque. We were finding the Great Danes of the local towns, or whatever the Big Ten pubs of the places that we would be rolling through. So that was my policy.
Yeah, no, I was talking more like advice on. If your kid didn't play well or that. I love a good food choice, don't get me wrong, but I'm always curious. I'm heading to St. Louis this weekend with another family on Max's team, and just want to get an understanding if they have tough games, they have good games. What's the dialogue?
if they play bad, they ride in the trunk on the way back to the hotel.
Okay, that's what I thought. And Taco Bell. Yeah, okay. I think we're all on the same page.
Wait.
You know, it's so different because Hogan was a rehash it, himself, and Roan's you got to pull teeth to get anything out of him. So, but I stopped coaching Tausch. Like, I think when Roan was 9 years old and it was baseball. So it was a lot easier to do it as a, parent that wasn't a coach versus a parent who also coached. I don't know. I mean, I just sort of let them have their way with it.
Did you ever carpool with another father, and did you rule with an iron fist the way Tausch does when people carpool with him?
Never rode with anybody because, as Jason knows, because his office at Lambeau is right by the bathroom, I make a lot of trips to the bathroom. I drink a lot of water.
We would be good then.
I don't want to have to, tell some guy he's got to stop for me every 90 minutes.
Woo, you are definitely not riding with old boy.
Yeah, we're not rolling.
Sure.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah. Plus, I want my kids would always be like, I want to be able to talk freely about the games, and if it's an 8-hour ride home from St. Louis, it's a long time to keep it.
God, I hope it's not 8 hours. I plugged it in my phone. It's only 5, but, man, it's snowstorms. I hope that's not the case. All right, Rob, let's get down to what we heard down at Radio Row with some of the Packer conversation.
Real quick, I caught the end of the very last segment, and I heard you guys talking about the Juji fruits and Elaine. Without Googling, do you remember the name of Elaine's boyfriend who she was going to see in the hospital before she stopped? Because Seinfeld had the greatest fake names, right? Like Bob Sacamano, Slippery Pete.
It's not Todd Gack, right?
It's not Todd
Buck
Gack.
Naked. What was his name? Let me think. Jake Jarmel. Jake Jarmel.
Jake Jarmel. Yep, there's alliteration with the J. Very well done.
Wow, you guys, I'm impressed. That was pretty good.
Time.
All right, Jake Jarmel and Josh Jacobs. What a perfect segue.
JJ.
They need a Seinfeld at wide receiver, or do they? We all heard it. We all talked about it. We all wrote about it. What was your initial reaction? Because my first thought is, hey, he's got truth as a defense if people want to criticize him.
Yeah, sometimes the truth hurts. And look, he's a guy who has credibility in the locker room. This isn't a locker room troublemaker, right? So I think because of that, his words carry a little bit more weight. He came here and produced, and he wants to win. Look, you can say that it's not going to play well in the locker room, but I think when you're, a veteran who wants to win and is doing everything you can, maybe who cares? If that's the case. Now, it's not going to be easy for him to, or those guys. I mean, look, he's created questions for other guys in the locker room, and I know that's not something that you want to do, right? Like, I get it. Because the first time we have availability, we're going to go over to 13's locker and 11's locker and 87's locker, and if Christian Watson is around. The other thing, he could have helped himself a little bit if he would have said, part of it is we're not going to have Christian Watson for the start of the season. Like, he could have used that as if I was advising him, I would have tried to tell him, hey, we're going to need a guy, especially because we're not going to have our deep threat guy. So I think that's kind of sums it up from my perspective.
Do you think he was just talking about Devante Adams in general, or specifically, or no?
No, I don't think so. I really don't.
We also heard from Jordan Love, who we know is not the most colorful quote. Tausch wants me to put together my top 5 most quotable quarterbacks.
Oh, I thought he was going to ask you for your top 5 Jordan Love quotes. I don't know if I'd get past 1 or 2.
Jeez, you guys are two peas in a pod.
Gosh, you guys are tough.
He's a really nice guy. Enjoy talking to him. It's just he's not going to fill the notebook.
He definitely doesn't. But I said that he was in a tough spot yesterday on NFL Live on ESPN. He knew he was going to be in a tough spot. He kind of went with this milquetoast. Hey, you add good players to an already good offense. The sky's the limit. But I thought Tausch made a fantastic point, basically saying, look, put it on you. Hey, I need to help these guys be better. I got to be more accurate. When you think about how he kind of leads, this is on his plate now, thanks to Josh Jacobs. So how do you expect him to handle it?
Yeah, and it's sort of what the post-game or the postseason press conferences sort of led us down that road with the Packers saying they would like to see him take the next step
from
a leadership standpoint. Excuse me, and I'm not sure that yesterday's appearance, it didn't hurt that, but it didn't he didn't grab it by the horns and sort of, control the narrative and put a strong spin on it. So I think, maybe he's got a ways to go in that area. But yeah, I mean, he has said, Jason, at various times during the season, I need to make a better throw. When we're asking about a specific play, it's not like he shirks responsibility, but I think he could have diffused the situation maybe a little bit more.
If you want a number one wide receiver, do you want Devante Adams back or do you want T. Higgins?
That is a fantastic question. I would like to now. Are there number one receivers that are younger? I mean, I would prefer to go younger. And I'm not saying, T. Higgins is the other name out there. And how old is T. Higgins? 26, 27? Not even sure.
Probably in that, yeah.
It doesn't have to be him. And I don't know, maybe there isn't a number one receiver that's available that still has that many more years left on him, because if that's the case, he's not available, right? And I guess I haven't watched enough, tape on Devante. I see the numbers, still look good at times. But, the Packers have let love Jordy Nelson, think he's maybe one of the most impressive receivers I've ever seen. But when he left, you wouldn't have wanted him back, right? And I'm not saying Devante is in that same category.
Well, Jason did.
I did. Yeah,
Jason thought he would have been really good with Rodgers another year or two.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah, I got to plead. I don't watch a lot of Raiders football games, I guess, and I also think it's not a Goody type of move. That's just not it's not part of the plan. And not that he hasn't deviated from it at times, but I just don't see that. And maybe I'm naive or wrong, but I don't see that as a legitimate thing.
So, Rob, when you look at this thing, the receiving corps, because that's been such a conversation piece all week, if you had a bet, who is of this group of Packers wideouts, who's here in 3 years? Who did you say, I guarantee you this guy gets a contract and is here for that next run of Jordan Love if it's 2 or 3 years down the road?
Jaden Reed would be my number one and probably number two and number three answers, because I don't know if there is anybody after him. When this topic of number one receivers has been, it's been going on since Alan Lazard was the, quote, number one, right? But last offseason, in one of the either OTA, minicamp, or training camp media sessions with Jason Vrabel, former receivers coach, now passing game coordinator, his answer was, how we'll find out who the number one receiver is? It's who we pay, right? And at this point, who do you pay? Now, you don't have to pay anybody.
That's kind of my question, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to, though, Tausch. That's the thing is, you can let Romeo Doubs play a whole another year before. You don't have to give him an extension in November or December. It's just that there's nothing. He probably wants one, right? And the Christian Watson thing, as much as it sucks for him and it sucks that the Packers aren't going to have him, in a sense, it buys them another year, because most likely he's going to have an incomplete 2025 season. Therefore, he will do a short-term, I'm just 1 year, $6 million, whatever it is, for 2026. And it's almost like you get another year before you have to really pay him big.
Yeah, you're right. I bring this up often just because I was there for the conversation where you had talked to some people around the league. I think it was during training camp that we had this conversation with Jaden Reed and the idea of him being a 100-catch guy.
100-catch guy. Yep.
Instead, he was a 10-drop guy, and his numbers actually, in some categories anyway, decreased over last year when he was a rookie. What went awry there? And what does he need to do moving forward to be that guy? Because clearly he felt aggrieved, although he turned it around on the fans, which I didn't understand before he deleted the tweets, about what Josh Jacobs said.
Well, I think the whole receiver thing got completely out of whack from the beginning when Jordan Love got hurt at the end of the opener, right? Like, I mean, that's just – and then you played 2 games, and I know it's only 2, but 2 games where passing numbers were just minuscule compared to what they would normally be. And then even when Jordan came back, it wasn't like they were clicking right away. So, I mean, I sort of said to myself at the end of September, man, by the end of this season, there's not going to be a receiver that has number 1 type of numbers because it's just all out of whack. Now, it turns out there wasn't a number 1 receiver with either numbers or just the go-to-ness of that position. And I mean, like, I'm going to say it, and you guys are probably sick of me hearing it, but I still think Tucker Kraft could be a George Kittle type of Rob Gronkowski type of number 1 receiver. Like, I mean, I know there was I think Tom Silverstein did an article at the end of the season, near the end of the season, in which Tucker Kraft, in a very, very polite way, basically said, I would like the ball more. It wasn't, the headline wasn't Tucker Kraft demands more role, but that was essentially, and I wasn't there when Tucker said it. I don't know if he said it to Spoon one-on-one or it was in a group and I just wasn't there for it. And the story really didn't get, a whole lot of, it didn't get any, like, nobody picked it up from an aggregation thing and said Tucker Kraft wants to be the number 1 guy or whatever. But
Jesse, get that. Let's go. Aggregate that. Let's go. What are you doing?
Yeah, right. So, but you guys know that, I mean, since training camp or the start of the season, this past season, I think he has a skill set that has been tapped lightly, but is still untapped.
All right, Rob, last one for me. If you're a betting man, before the draft, does Brian Gutekunst pick up a wide receiver?
Sure, I'd throw a Ulysses Grant on there that he did.
Okay,
that he will.
All right.
Not saying, you're not telling me it's a 4-year,
nope.
$30 million a year guy. I think he'll add somebody. Yeah, I do. I thought you were gonna, when you were talking about betting, I thought you were gonna ask me for a Super Bowl wager of some sort because
no.
Well, let me just, a few years ago, more than a few.
Do you want me to? Okay.
We were.
So now what do you think about the Super Bowl?
Yeah. The Super Bowl previews aren't really our thing around here, Rob.
Super Bowl previews coming up, Rob.
I've never wagered on a sporting event, but the night before the Super Bowl, a number of years ago, sitting around playing poker with some buddies, and a friend of mine goes, yeah, I bet, I think he put like $25 on a safety being the first score of the Super Bowl, and we completely mocked him. Like, just, wow, that was a total waste of money.
Seattle, Denver.
Snapped it over,
Peyton's head.
Snapped it over Peyton's head, and he won like $750. And then if you remember, I think it happened again either the next year or the year after. It's happened twice, and he had money on both of them. So I no longer make fun of people who stop that.
Wow. Good for Madsen.
I almost spit out my water. It was not Madsen.
All right, Rob, I know you're focused on basketball. The other thing that has come up a lot, though, and look, Josh Jacobs, for everything he said, he also said they need a defensive end and they need a defensive back. When you look at those two positions, I think you and I, and it would appear Josh Jacobs and Keyshawn Nixon all think that Jair is done in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And we don't know what they're going to do to fix their pass rush. What are your expectations at those two positions as we kind of move forward here? I'm guessing you're not putting a Ulysses S. Grant on Myles Garrett being a Packer.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I think even Jordan Love may have said it this morning in one of his appearances. Knowing us, we'll go defense. Excuse me, early in the draft. So
unless they go quarterback.
Yeah, right. So pick, what are they, 23? Is that where they're picking?
Yeah, Brian Bulaga.
So pick 23, the defensive tackle, defensive end from, I don't know, Marshall or whoever the big guy from the Senior Bowl was, and then pick 45, the cornerback from Clemson or wherever, right? Like that's probably what we're looking at.
All right, Rob, what's the basketball schedule this weekend? Big win for the Vikings of Lawrence.
Yeah. So tonight is day 4 out of 5 in a row. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. 3 for the De Pere Redbirds, 2 for the Lawrence Vikings. Like, to me, like, my wife is like, oh man, that's a lot of basketball. I'm like, man, can we play Sunday? Like, can we get a game Sunday too? One of them was a makeup day last night at Sheboygan South because of that one day they had no school with the freezing cold. But yeah, man, like, to me, is there a better week? 5 games in a row, and I don't have to travel to the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, you know what? The three of us, that's how we operate, right? I mean, I had this weekend.
Would have been like, I would have liked to have seen Mike Holmgren get in, and like that would have been, had he gotten in and been there to talk to him for the NFL honors, would have been a cool story. And boy, he didn't get in this year. It's because Belichick's up next year, right?
Yeah, if he doesn't return to the league. So I was pretty strongly opinionated, which, as you know, does not happen very often. I thought he got hosed, and I think the fact that they changed the voting. Now, Pete Doherty is our representative still, is that right?
Believe so, yes.
They changed the voting. So basically, Holmgren, instead of just being voted on his own merits, it was him versus the seniors committee nominees and the contributor nominee. And I thought he got hosed. Are you with me or no?
Yeah, I don't know. Darren Gant wrote a really good piece on the Panthers website because Luke Kuechly was up, and he explained the 80% thing, and he did it from a mathematical. He had some mathematical whiz, certainly smarter than any of us, including him. And he basically said it's hard. It's just really hard to get 80% now. So yeah, I don't know. I really thought Mike was going to get in. I had heard from some people that the discussion on him was really positive, and people that were on the committee that I talked to felt like Holmgren had a decent shot and Sharpe was maybe more 50-50, and obviously it turned out the other way.
So Pete was wrong. Oh, interesting.
Rob, enjoy.
I'm out of water. I have to go pee. I think he drank 15 Dr. Peppers.
Enjoy your basketball. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks.
All right, guys. We'll be seeing you.
That is the great Rob Demovsky of ESPN.com. You can read all of his stuff at ESPN.com as well as on ESPNWisconsin.com. We've still got a little ways to go in the 10 o'clock hour, believe it or not. We're running late. And we also have double trivia yet again. We've gotten this far into the show, and I actually left the house last night and did something. We never even talked about it. Maybe that will come up in conversation in the coming segments, but for now, we'll talk about something else next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The 11th annual Big Cheese Classic is coming. On February 8th and 9th, this wheelchair basketball tournament brings top talent from across the nation to Wisconsin. Powered by the Wisconsin Adaptive Sports Association, this exciting event at Pewaukee High School promises to be a thrilling showcase of athleticism, competition, and inspiration. For more information, please call 262-613-7040 or email Melissa at wausau.org.
Come see Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary Design Works consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Steinhoffels. Stop in for the Marquette Spirit Sales event going on Thursday, February 6th through Sunday, February 9th.
For the first time this season, the 11th-ranked Golden Eagles have dropped back-to-back games following a 70-64 loss to number 12 St. John's at Madison Square Garden. Senior guard Cam Jones was in foul trouble most of the night, but still finished with 15 points, 13 of those coming in the second half.
And now Jones in the corner, three. Oh! Cam Jones!
Guess who's back?
Marquette falls into third place in the Big East at 9-3 and 18-5 overall. They wrap up their two-game road trip Saturday in Omaha against Creighton.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Steinhoffels. Make sure to stop by any Milwaukee area Steinhoffels from February 6th through 9th and receive a $100 Marquette Spirit Shop gift card when you spend over $1,999. Find ESPN Milwaukee broadcasting live on Saturday from the Steinhoffels in Waukesha.
Save big money on your next project at Menards. Brighten up your garage or workspace with a 6,000 lumen 3-panel LED light from GT Light. It's 7 times brighter than traditional incandescent light bulbs and features 3 adjustable panels allowing you to shine light where you need it most. Stock GT Light LED utility bulbs are on sale. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Time is running out to sign up for the trip of a lifetime with Homer. Join Homer and Colette Vacations this August to see the many shades of Ireland. It's the last chance to join Homer to explore the historic city of Dublin. Journey through Ireland's breathtaking countryside. Stay overnight at a medieval castle and do so much more. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com or text Homer to 800-990-3776 for the full details of the trip. Spots remain, so don't miss out on this special trip with Homer and Colette.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Casey and Philly are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Of the show, and again, thanks to Rob Demovsky. I always enjoy catching up with him. I never thought I'd say the phrase Ben Brust newsbreaker, but Ben posted last night while I was at the UW Green Bay Youngstown State women's game. I am hearing from sources the Packers will play the Steelers on September 28th at Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland.
Nice.
The NFL announcing today that there will be a game in Dublin at said stadium. There has not been an official announcement from the league of who the combatants will be in that game. But I think Ben is going to be proven right for Packers-Steelers. I think we kind of talked about that as a possibility when the news was first leaking out about there being a game in Ireland. And Tausch, my first thought after I can't believe Ben Brust broke this news was, boy, Matt LaFleur's going to be thrilled.
Well, kudos to Benny. I love the fact, Benny, I give him a lot of grief. He takes a lot of days off. He gives Jesse a lot of grief for taking days off. His takes, whatever. But he broke this news on a national level. At a baby Benny.
Tough
Good
look
work,
for
not
Jason.
bad.
Tough look for Jason that Ben's
Well, I can't believe
you
Brust
on the
is
news.
breaking news over Jason. Yeah, I'm surprised. But the idea, I'm kind of bummed because
that seemed unnecessary.
I'm not bummed that Benny broke the news. I'm bummed going to Pittsburgh and having what is the name of that song?
Renegade.
That they play in Renegade
by Styx.
Oh, baby, there ain't anything better, man. It's
Jump
right there
Around
with Jump
is better.
That's right. I just said if you'd let me blank and finish.
Bang the drum.
It's right there with Jump Around. It is as cool of a deal, and Pittsburgh's a great city. We could go see Jana and her guy, and what's the other dude's name that's up there? Colby. We could have had like a remote up there. So I'm bummed that it's an Ireland deal, and I'm sure Packer fans will love going to Ireland and will show up. I don't know if we'll out Pittsburgh over there, but a lot shorter trip. And it'll be a great experience. There'll be a lot of beers drank, and you'll have a great time if you end up doing that trip to Ireland.
Are you going to go? You went to London.
No, I will not be going.
But you have such a great Irish accent you could show off.
I do. There's a lot of things I'd love to do, but unfortunately I believe there will probably be a Badger game over that course of that time, so I will be unavailable to go.
Okay.
Maybe not, man. Who knows?
Well,
I don't know what the Badgers I don't know the bye schedule and all of that stuff
true.
yet. And I don't think listen, man, Benny did a great job breaking this.
Yeah.
Are we certain?
No.
Are we certain?
We're not certain. It is not official.
I do believe Benny's not going to put something on social media that's false. That's just not the Ben Brust way.
The weekend was September 28th, right? That's what, according to Ben Brust's report.
Yes, according to Ben Brust's report, yes.
What if I told you, following the Big Ten opener at home against Maryland on Saturday, September 20th, Wisconsin has its first bye of the season
now that
on
makes
September
things
27th?
All right, well, that makes things more interesting, for sure.
It is not an Irish lager. It is a Golden, Colorado lager, but we know what Tausch is drinking, whether he's in Golden, Colorado, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, or Dublin, Ireland.
Ahoy, matey. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process. Cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp, and it's only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour late again in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Hey guys, Josh DiMaggio here. Don't be like me and wait till the last minute. Valentine's Day is almost here. Impress that special someone with a handcrafted bouquet from Flowers for Dreams. Order a bouquet online at flowersfordreams.com or visit their Walker's Point location. Use code ESPN at checkout for 15% off your bouquet, or this year, try something new with tickets to their date night open studio workshop on Friday, February 14th. Every Valentine's bouquet benefits an amazing local Milwaukee charity. That's flowersfordreams.com, code ESPN.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Don't miss a day of non-stop basketball action at the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th at Fiserv Forum. Catch all the exciting plays as 10 high school boys basketball teams hit the court. Watch 5 games featuring State Power Kettle Moraine along with Nicolay, Milwaukee Juneau, Kohler, Sun Prairie East, and Racine Park. General admission tickets are just $15 and are valid for all 5 games. See the full schedule and get your tickets today at FiservForum.com. Be there for the Deer District Prep Showcase on Saturday, February 8th.
Time is running out to sign up for the trip of a lifetime with Homer. Join Homer and Colette Vacations this August to see the many shades of Ireland. It's the last chance to join Homer to explore the historic city of Dublin, journey through Ireland's breathtaking countryside, stay overnight at a medieval castle, and do so much more. Visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com or text Homer to 800-990-3776 for the full details of the trip. Spots remain, so don't miss out on this special trip with Homer and Colette.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. It is 11:12 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have to go 48 more minutes to get through the week without a misstep regarding the Super Bowl and any sort of advertising partner that is not authorized to use the term Super Bowl. So why not challenge ourselves and do our prize picks for the big game right now? Also, Ed Helms sucks.
Oh boy, it's the official Wilde and Tausch big game preview. We know how well it went last year, and we'll do it in the form of our prize picks of the week this time around. Of course, you know all about the Patrick Mahomes free square 0.5 passing yards.
It's not
in the
free.
big game. Yes,
It
I'm the
is
one who
not
usually corrects
free.
you. They do refer to it as the free square.
They did. I noticed that when you were reading it.
So we can now officially call it the free square for Patrick Mahomes 0.5 passing yards. So independent, we're not going to
consistently tell my kids there's nothing free in this world because there ain't. I promise you.
Well, you do have to pair it with at least one other projection. So besides Patrick Mahomes passing yards or any other numbers specific to Mahomes, let's do our prize picks of the big game. Starting with Saquon Barkley. More or less than 113.5 rushing yards in the big game for the Philadelphia running back.
Less, but I have on my, and I think you're going to throw this up on a graphic later because you sent me an email asking for it. Saquon will score a tutter. I think his tutter is 0.5, whether or not he will, and I don't know how you get a half a tutter. Maybe there is something. Does he kick a field goal? Does he get a half a tutter? I don't know how that all works, but I do believe Saquon, even though the tush push, Kansas City stopped some tushing and pushing last week or 2 weeks ago. I love Saquon for a tutter. I don't love him getting 113 plus.
I'm with Tausch on this one. Are we still applying this to the big game the way we applied it throughout the course of the season? Like if Tausch and I agree on something, do you then make that selection?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for some advice. I've been relatively inactive the last couple of weeks. Couldn't play any prize
because
while I was on the boat. Yeah.
Could you have played had you bought the Wi-Fi?
Great question. I don't know about the international seas rule for prize pay. I would guess not, but I'm not positive. But I know I can play this weekend, so we'll keep rolling here. Travis Kelce, superstar, more or less than 62.5 receiving yards and more or less than 0.5 proposals after the game. That is not on Prize Picks. I'm just asking.
I think one of the other ones I sent you was not the 62 yards because I'm not gonna doubt Kelsey in that regard, but 6 catches was his projection. I'm going less than that, but I think he makes a big play. I think he ends up in a big play. I think somehow, some way, he starts slow, and eventually they start thinking maybe that ain't Kelsey, maybe he's a little washed, and he makes one big play for 30 or 40, and he gets more, but I don't love that one. I love the less on the 6 catches. That's a lot of catches for Kelsey, and I think Philly's defense is really good, so that's why I'm going less.
I'm going to agree again with Tausch, so you could play those. Should we be expecting a low-scoring affair on Sunday in the big game?
Yes. I do think our boy Fort Bow on ESPN has been very clear on that regard. I think you'll see a lot of points late. So I don't know about all of that other stuff because that's not what prize.
What makes you say that?
Kansas City scores late. Kansas City's going to win the game, and they're going to do it late because that's what Kansas City does. And I'm a nut whacker.
Well, you weren't
mooner.
last year. You learned your lesson.
Mooner. I'm a nut whacker. Yep.
Jalen Hurts, more or less than 213.5 passing yards. I like less.
I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass on this one.
Yep.
Okay,
I'll let Jason take this one. I just don't have a good vibe.
You haven't passed all year on a prize picks.
Yeah, I don't have a vibe. Listen, man, I'm a vibes guy when it comes to prize picks. I'm
you're
a vibes
lot of
guy.
things.
My vibe in there, so I'm not gonna go. Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna go less, fewer, not as much.
Okay,
as the projection.
That's what I was vibing with, so I think I might agree there.
So don't pass on your opportunity to make that pick.
Now we're going to
the big game.
We're going to get to a couple of fun ones here because with the big game, Prize Picks has a few extra categories that aren't always available for every game. So here in the big game, Jake Elliott and Harrison Butker combined more or less than 26.5 yards being the shortest made field goal.
What?
26.5 yards, shortest made field goal. So basically, if they're inside the 10-yard line and a goal to go fourth down, are they going to go for it or are they going to kick a field goal? That's basically what this comes down to.
There'll be a field goal. I like that one. So if I go less, that means there's a short field goal.
Yeah, you think one of those two will make like a 24-yarder.
Yes, I think red zone. This game will be won or lost down there, and I think that's what makes Mahomes so special. But I think early in this game, you're going to see field goals. I like that one a lot. I might actually look at dabbling on that one. That might be a dabble.
So you went from passing on one question. Now you're kicking it on this one.
Extra dabble.
Well, I don't want to just throw stuff. Like if I don't have a vibe, I'm not going to say I got a vibe. I don't have a vibe. And I got to have a vibe if I'm going to make a pick.
All I know is I want Harrison Butker to miss all of his kicks. Next.
Last one.
Oh, what's wrong with Harrison Butker?
Oh, my. No.
Whoa, Nelly. No, what's wrong with Harrison Butker? Did I miss something?
Yeah, he thinks women belong in the kitchen.
Whoa, Nelly!
Which I know you don't agree with since you banned Sarah from using the oven once upon a time.
Nelly! It's the opposite at our house, yeah. Get out of the kitchen.
Last but not least, and I have never seen, this might be a brand new thing. I've never seen this on Prize Picks before. Darius Slay, Trent McDuffie, Quinyon Mitchell, more or less than 0.5 defensive pass interference penalties. Will there be a pass interference penalty against one of those three guys?
They're playing the Chiefs. Of course there will be.
Yeah, I tend to say more on that.
Yes. I thought that was
They're
the
gonna
free square. It
hopefully-
was so obvious.
I really hope that the refs stay out of this and we're not talking about them on Monday because just eat your flags.
What's
eat
the
your
projection on
whistles.
that?
I want less than 5 penalties per. I know there's jitters early and guys might false start and stuff, but just tuck the flags. Let these guys play. Please. But who knows? I don't know who's ref.
I'm going more. I know it's ridiculous to think that the officials favor the Chiefs, Roger Goodell told me, but I'm going more on this. I do not believe that those three will get out of this game without being flagged for pass interference against a Chiefs player. Those are our prize picks for the big game.
We actually did a big game preview this year.
Not really, though.
Good work by us.
Did we, though?
Oh, yeah.
It was on the show sheet as a separate segment entirely, and we still didn't do it. Instead, we debated the mooning and fake mooning and what constitutes mooning.
Wilde and Tausch.
I do know this.
Wilde and Tausch.
All we have to do is get through this read. It would be super.
I'm nervous about it.
If you could
but
pull
I'm
it
not
off.
nervous. I'm not nervous about that free square, I guess, that is now considered. Patrick Mahomes, 0.5 yards. I love Kelsey, less than 6. I like this penalty deal that Jesse just brought up, of 0.5 DPIs against the Chiefs. Got a feeling that'll be more. The kicking game, I do think there's going to be a short kick made. So all kinds of fun things with the big game, and it is almost here, and it is now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks. The best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away that free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes only needs to throw for a yard. So if you're correct on one other projection, Kelsey or Saquon with a tutter, those are the ones I like. You pick what you like. You're going to win some real cash. Check out the promos tab to tail any of our super sweat millie winners, big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you win a split of a millie in those promo funds. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI. There is no better time to start on your Prize Picks than the big game. Just make sure you use that code WI and you get $50 after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run!
Your
big
game.
All right, speaking of games, we need to play trivia. And it's big. It's double trivia. What are we doubling up on category-wise, Jesse?
Pretty straightforward. Philadelphia trivia, Kansas City trivia in honor of the big game.
And I see you've determined that our callers will be caller 1. Who are you saying will get Philadelphia because that's the jersey number of their starting quarterback?
Caller 1 gets Philadelphia for Jalen Hurts.
Caller 15.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could do Harrison Butker's number.
No, let's do 15
caller
for consistency.
15 for Patrick Mahomes gets the Kansas City Chiefs trivia questions. Caller 1 and caller 15, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 1, caller 15, you'll play trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Come see Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary DesignWorks consultation and a Pella Care inspection. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. So we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra with ESPN Milwaukee and me this Friday at Magoo's on the Mound in Milwaukee. Alex Strofe here. I'll be at Magoo's on the Mound watching the Bucks take on the Atlanta Hawks Friday night starting at 6:30. Stop by to say hi and for a chance to win prizes. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Stenny's Lake Country in Pewaukee, Thirsty Duck Sussex, and Papa Stash in Big Bend. We'll see you Friday at Magoo's on the Mound for the Bucks game starting at 6:30 p.m. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee.
All right, let's play some trivia. Eagles trivia. Chiefs trivia.
Philadelphia and Kansas City trivia.
Can I say Super Bowl trivia, or do I have to say big game trivia?
You can, but I just want to be accurate with what these categories consist of questions about.
Oh.
We are not specifically asking about the Kansas City Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles. We're asking about Kansas City and Philadelphia.
Tausch, are you putting me in charge of this again?
No, I have Kansas City because I think the Chiefs are going to win. So I'm going to pick Kansas City. And you got the Eagles winning, and you're going Philly.
Perfect. Well, let's welcome in our contestants. My contestants, who will be answering questions about Philadelphia, not necessarily the Eagles, is a first-time contestant. It is Steve in the Shaw. Waukesha? I'm assuming, Steve? Waukesha?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Waukesha.
Steve in the Shaw, you'll get the Philly questions. Meanwhile, The Kansas City questions go to Elijah in Poynette. Is Poynette High School still the Indians?
It's the Pumas now.
The Pumas. Ooh, I like that. Poynette
Yeah, we had to
Pumas.
switch during that whole thing.
During that whole thing, yeah. Well, Elijah, you'll get the Chiefs questions from Old T. But Steve, you'll get question number 1 on the Eagles, and that question is this. The city of Philadelphia is often referred to with which of these slogans? The city of brotherly love, the city that never sleeps, or the city that booed Santa Claus?
I'll go with A. First answer.
1 for 1. Tausch?
Wouldn't C have worked there, too?
I don't think it's an official slogan, no.
Not often referred to.
Okay.
But it,
all right,
it is
Elijah.
accurate.
Fitting, given this time of year, which of these nicknames for the city, which of these is a nickname for the city of Kansas City? Is it the Heart of America, the Super City, or Swiftyville?
What was the first and second one?
Heart of America or Super City?
Oh, geez. We'll go with Heart of America.
Fitting given this time of year was your hint.
Well, Super Bowl is Super City. It's actually closer than Valentine's Day, so I would have thought Super City, too.
Wait, don't you have the answers highlighted?
Jesse's acting like Elijah's a complete idiot for not knowing it. I'm like, no, it's actually not that easy of a question. I've never heard of Kansas City.
I've never heard it either.
The Heart of America.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I'm not letting Jesse get after Elijah for what I totally understand.
I was just pointing out the hint in the question.
No, you did. Elijah, did you feel like Jesse was getting after you a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, come on, Elijah.
A little sneaky.
Nevertheless,
I agree.
You got it right, and now we can all agree none of us has heard Kansas City referred to as the Heart of America.
No, I hadn't either.
Matter of fact, it should be called Swiftyville if she ends up marrying old boy and living there. So all of those answers are legit, in my opinion.
Steve, save us from ourselves. Question 2 on Philadelphia is this. Which of these players is the Philadelphia Phillies' all-time home run leader with 548 dingers in his Phillies career? Is it Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, or Mike Schmidt?
Oh, man. I know it's not Utley. Let's go with Mike Schmidt.
Oh, third baseman. They won the World Series in 1980 when I was 8. You are correct again. 2 for 2 for you. Heart of America question number 2 goes to Tausch.
All right, Elijah. Which of these players is the Kansas City Royals' all-time home run leader with 317 in his Royals career? Is it Mike Sweeney, George Brett, or Brian Balboni?
I'll go with George Brett.
Wasn't it Steve Balboni?
He'd have one more if they would have not taken that the bat tard one away from him. He'd have 318.
Yep.
Didn't they reinstate that after the appeal? Killing the Heart of America trivia superfluous information. It is Wilde and Todd.
Well, you don't know what Jordan Love makes, but you know that George Brett's home run got reinvented back. What a world we live in! And now that's the case, and you're correct in my Balboni pick. Oh.
Rust is breaking Packers news.
Wow.
Brian Balboni. Did you compare?
Sounds like a Seinfeld character.
Did you combine Steve Balboni, the baseball player, with Brian Boitano, the ice skater? Question 3, Steve, is this?
Oh, that was Dick Pound from the International Olympic Committee.
Indeed it was. It all comes back to Dick Pound. Question 3 on the Philadelphia Trivia, Steve, is this. Which of these is not one of the two bodies of water that surrounds the city of Philadelphia? Okay, one of these does not make up the water that surrounds Philly. Is it the Delaware River, the Ohio River, or the Schuylkill River?
Oh, let's say the Delaware River.
The Ohio River is not the river.
Ohio River.
Yeah, so pesky. All right, Balboni.
I legit am thinking I just am going to let you do it because I don't know if I got any more corrections in me from you. Latitudinally. Did I say that right, Jason?
That was great.
Which of
Well
these
done.
cities is located further south than Kansas City, Missouri? Is it Denver, Colorado? Oh, God. Indianapolis, Indiana, or Washington, D.C.?
Which ones? Can you repeat that?
I would love to.
Get out of the way, Jason.
I'm sorry.
Latitudinally. Which of these cities is located farther south? Farther is distance, further is degree. Farther south than Kansas City, Missouri.
Away from you. Okay, you pick.
Enjoy your drive to
This
St.
is not
Louis.
helping with repeating the question.
Which of these cities farther south than Kansas City, Missouri? Is it Denver, Colorado that's farther south? Indianapolis,
Denver, Colorado.
Indiana farther south? Or Washington, D.C. that's farther south?
Denver, Colorado.
I kept giving you options after you said that.
I know you did. I was wondering how you said
That was a quick horn, too.
Hey, Elijah, if you...
Jesse wouldn't give. Jesse doesn't like Elijah. Jesse doesn't like Elijah. He got that horn out quicker. Jason kept trying to give you a chance, and nope, Jesse hammered that horn. That's the fastest he's done. I asked for a clip 6 segments ago, and he can't get it to me, but he hammers that horn like you wouldn't believe. That's well done. But what do you have against Elijah, Jesse?
He answered so confidently, we let Jason keep going to give Elijah a lifeline, and he didn't take it. He's like, no, I'm riding
The good
with
news
Denver.
is you got that great fish fry in Poinette tonight at that spot I couldn't think of. That's the good news you got.
Go Pumas. All right, gentlemen, both of you got 2 out of 3 right. That means both of you have 3 of the possible 4 entries into the drawing that we are going to do next. Steve,
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Welcome to Trivia in your debut. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
And Elijah, in spite of
Elijah,
Jesse,
we love you. Jesse hates you. That's the gist of what I've learned today.
I love you guys.
I'm actually a big fan of Jesse.
Yeah.
Why?
And I'm
you should be.
You know?
And I think Elijah's okay.
I'll call back. I'll keep bugging him.
I'm actually a fan of Jesse. Well, you shouldn't be. That was great.
Why? You fool.
Oh, boy, yeah. He's besmirched you, but that's what you love. Good loyalty, Elijah. Good loyalty.
Glutton for punishment, Elijah. All right, well, we'll draw our winner next, and then it'll be Whoa, Nelly. It's Wilde and Tausch.
It's the perfect Valentine's heart.
The kind a schoolboy would draw.
It's the most adorable pendant we've ever created.
Innocent, fun-loving, and sweeter than honey.
Cute, cute, cute.
It's cherry red ceramic that's been through the fire.
We've been making ceramic jewelry for thousands of years.
Seriously?
Google it.
But this ceramic heart has things they didn't know about thousands of years ago.
Like what?
Diamonds. 18 of them.
These created diamonds were made for the one who sparkles like the sun.
I can see her in my mind right now.
It's the perfect Valentine's gift.
And it's only $128 at Kessler's.
Monica, what else do we have?
We have 4 different ways to say I love you.
Each pendant is a different shape covered in diamonds.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
An oval.
A square with rounded corners.
A teardrop.
And a heart.
Your choice, just $148 at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde and Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Casey and Philly are ready to kick off. The question is, are you ready? HD TVs in every room. Check. The grill ready to fire up. Check. Chips, dips, check. Now the real planning begins. A trip to Discount Liquor to stock up for the biggest football game of the year. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Is beer on the menu? We'll set you up with your favorite or recommend something new. We have over 2,000 to choose from. What about liquor? Our variety is unmatched, as is our selection of wine. So if you want it, we've got it. Discount Liquor is your personal party headquarters. Discount Liquor has everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. Online at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
Get ready for the grooviest celebration of the year. Join us at American Place Casino for our Woodstock and Wildflowers 2-year anniversary bash on Saturday, February 15th. We're giving away $50,000 in cash and free play with winners drawn every 15 minutes from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. Participate in our costume drawing for a chance to win $500 in free play. Come celebrate our 2-year anniversary. Don't miss out on all the fun promotions and live entertainment. Peace, love, and big jackpots await. Visit AmericanPlace.com for more details.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Before we get to Whoa Nelly, we need to draw this week's trivia winner. Jesse, the irony here would obviously be if Elijah ends up emerging victorious.
Pretty even split of chips in the cheese fry poker chip helmet here. We have selected number 2. Oh, it's not Elijah, but it is another guy. He's been drawn by Fat Jesse, and now he's been drawn by Skinny Jesse. Mike the Wedding DJ. Off the schneid, he is our trivia winner this week.
Congratulations to Mike. Dan in Brothertown, you are not a winner. nor were you last night, although the Phoenix were. Time for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, so before we hear about Jason's night, one quick question courtesy of the ESPN Madison office. Snoop Dogg was the host of the NFL Honors ceremony last night, in which they announced the MVP and all the awards and Hall of Famers and all that stuff. Had a couple of good jokes. The one that's gone viral is the one about Bill Belichick. If you haven't seen it, check it out on social media. The question from our office, Mark Tauscher, have you ever met Snoop Dogg?
Oh, it's a good question. If I have, it was not a long interaction. I don't think I have. I wanted to go. Was he not at Pato last year?
He was last year, yeah.
And I think we ended up having a baseball tournament. There's something that came up. I thought he gave a performance at Pato. I don't know if he was ever at. When I would go down to the Super Bowl, I'd get to go to some pretty cool parties. And I don't think I've ever met Snoop Dogg, though. So I would say I've been in the same room as him, I do believe, but I have never met him.
Do you have any?
I know you've been a little sensitive lately since the Final Four redo. But I feel like if you met Snoop Dogg, that feels like something you would remember.
It would either be a yes or a no, not a...
I don't think so. I may have been in the same room as him. Am I wrong to be a little surprised by your answer?
It almost sounds suspicious.
That does. Well, suspicious away.
Whoa, Nelly!
Whoa, Nelly, indeed.
All right, we'll move on from that one. Jason, what'd you do last night?
I left the house. As I said I would, I went and watched the UW Green Bay Fighting Phoenix women's basketball team dispatch of Tausch's near second alma mater, the Youngstown State Penguins, with Dan in Brothertown, the father-in-law of the head coach of the Phoenix, and his son was actually a Phoenix assistant under Rob's good buddy, Brian Wardle. So we spent a lot of time chit-chatting with Dan.
Braves.
And he followed him to Bradley, your alma mater.
All right.
For a couple of years. So it was a very entertaining game. I had a great time with Dan. Dan is an old basketball coach, so we talked a lot about basketball, and he's a really smart, likable, engaging guy. So we enjoyed that. At least I did. I guess I can't say for certain. And my favorite thing is that former UWGB coach Kevin Borseth sits a few rows behind him and is shouting at the officials throughout the game. Like he can't get teed up now, I guess. So he's in the stands, giving it to him, giving him the business, which I thought was pretty good. He's also shouting encouragement from time to time as well. But it was a great time. It was really fun, and I'm glad I went. And thanks to Dan for having an extra seat for me at the big ball game last night.
Tausch, any follow-up questions for Jason?
I have none. I'm glad Jason went out and had a good time. That's great.
Whoa, Nelly!
Tausch is already on his way to St. Louis.
Are you coordinating travel plans with your guy? Is that what's going on? Are you getting nervous?
Bartsky.
What did you? What did you want me to do there?
I feel like you're distracted.
You want Jason to get in and talk about his stuff. I let him do it, and now I'm not interrupting him enough. Like, I guess I just don't know. Where you want me to land here.
All right, it was very nice of you to let Jason share that story.
Yeah, I just let it go. He had a great time. He talked Borseth. He did all this. Great. Am I supposed to say, boy, what did you want me to say there? I said, glad he had a great time. I am. I'm glad he got out of the house. It's good.
What's the noise?
What else am I supposed to add?
What's the noise Jason makes that you don't like when you give a long story and he doesn't have anything to say?
Yep.
That You just did a
He
meep.
mipped
You
me.
did a meep without actually saying meep.
Okay.
Whoa,
Time
that
for
could
Feel
be farther from the truth.
Time for
That
Feel
could
Good
be
Friday.
Hey, Tausch, Josh Allen was named MVP of the NFL last night. What do you think?
Yep.
I think Lamar Jackson should have won it. That's what I think.
That's it for Whoa Nelly. We will wrap up the week and wrap up today's
What?
show.
You don't have anything to jump in? What? That's all you got?
Yep.
That's all?
Well, your point was so captivating. Okay.
With Feel Good Friday, painted by Holmgren Lindsay Paints. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Ben Brust here because you need to win the ultimate Valentine's Day prize courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. To register, go to welkesdatenight.com for your chance to win a bouquet of flowers courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. On top of that, spend a beautiful night in the city watching Milwaukee basketball take on Miami on February 23rd. Register to win a wonderful Valentine's Day prize courtesy of Welke's Milwaukee Florist. That's welkesdatenight.com. Register now through February 12th.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a plan to solve your situation right now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
When that nonstop pain starts swelling up in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, that's when you know it's time to go to QC Kinetics. Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. My experience with QC Kinetics has been unbelievable. When I went there myself, I was amazed at the state-of-the-art treatments and how they met me exactly where I was in diagnosing me and putting on a personal path toward recovery. When I hear all the testimonials of people going to QC Kinetics that finally get rid of their pain, it's unbelievable to hear that they are experiencing a new life after their treatment with QC Kinetics. Their ability to use cutting-edge regenerative treatments, including PRP, plasma, platelets, things that you only hear about theoretically, but when you can see with your own two eyes, you see why they are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. If you're finally ready to get rid of that joint pain and start living the life that you want to in 2025, call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet?
Picture it. Beautiful plants, freshly mowed lawn, crisply edged flower beds, and your grilling dinner out on an incredible back patio. Landworks Wisconsin is ready to plan your green space. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all your landscaping needs. Their team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Live up to the say I am. Is it any wonder? Shame comes calling my first name. Is there any question if I'm the one he left to blame? It's the same fight all over.
Time for Feel Good Friday, painted by Holmgren Lindsay Paints. And there was a sad story this week that we didn't get to, quite frankly, because it was such a newsworthy, interesting week with the trade of Chris Middleton. The Bucks have made subsequent trades since then Josh Jacobs' comments. But Virginia McCaskey, the matriarch, daughter of George Halas, passed away at age 102. Another a life well-lived example. And that was sad, but it reminded me of one of my favorite stories of my time covering the team, and that was being at the NFL meetings in 2010, the year, it was March before the Packers went on to win the Super Bowl. And the NFL meetings were in Orlando, and they do an event at the NFL meetings where all the owners and all the head coaches and all the general managers have a fancy schmancy dinner, and they invite the media too. And at the last minute, Paula and baby Madison, who was 9 weeks old, decided to go along on the trip. So the three of us were there, and we were rookie parents who had no idea what we were doing. We're at this gala event with our little baby, and this kindly older woman sees us struggling, trying to figure out how we're going to manage to each eat with a baby. And she says, well, let me hold the baby for you. And that woman was Virginia McCaskey. And she held Maddie while both of us ate. And she joked, well, she's got to be a Bears fan now. And so I was reminded of that story with her passing. She could not have been nicer, and she gave two overwhelmed rookie parents a very welcome respite so they could eat their dinner.
What a great story that is. That's good. And did you let her know that the Wildes aren't fans of any professional sports?
Well, let's be honest. Maddie cheers for the season.
She said, Virginia, don't worry about it. Well, none of us are Packer fans here. Don't worry about that.
Not a fan.
And then Virginia's like, well, I actually listened to your show, and man, it seems like you really do. Fun little anecdote there.
That is our end of our week. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the big game.
Big game.
We'll be back on Monday. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all